Hello, and welcome to the next series. Yeah, actually touching this one. Yeah, why not? I mean, again, like I've said before, the last time I really seriously sat down and played this game, it was still like July 1991. The NES was still Nintendo's latest console for another month or so, and yeah, it's been that long. So, yeah, not let negative memories from over 3 decades ago forever tarnish, my review of this game. That and looking back at it historically, like I said in my Final Fantasy playthrough, back then I still had that potentially bad habit of running from as many random battles as the game would possibly allow me to, and as an end result, made the end areas much more difficult than they probably would have been if I wasn't so drastically under leveled from not fighting enough battles and gaining enough experience along the way. So yeah, the difficulty I remember this having was probably a lot of my own making. Not so much the game being hard, but me just not being leveled up enough. So, that having been said, this is going to be interesting as again I haven't really played the original that far in since the early 1990s. Yeah, a lot has happened to both me personally and the rest of the world since then. Holy crap. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if this guy has a default name, and again, like I've said in other Twitch streams and whatnot, I'm a little sketchy about that whole so-called default names of Dragon Quest heroes anyways, as I can't help thinking if they actually had a default name in the minds of the developers who made the game, why aren't they in the game like in Final Fantasy VII? Cloud is the guy's default name, but you can change it if you want. But his default name is still in the game. So why isn't, Asta in Dragon Quest VII since fan theory has it that that's his default name? I mean, it might be official developers. I might be wrong about that. But again, I can't help thinking if they actually intended his name to be Asta, it would have been in the game, not just in some fan manga somewhere, but actually in the game. Anyway, point made. So I don't know what their names are supposed to be. I just usually give them my name. It helps with the RPG role playing, and the idea is it's you. At least that's the way it used to be. Yeah, let's go with fast. Now, like I said in my preview, first announcing this game, the Japanese original, the beginning is a little different. I mean, usually, especially back then, games were censored and edited from the Japanese to the Americanized, localized port, cutting out excessive violence and sex and religion and stuff like that. Here, this entire sequence was actually added to the game. It wasn't there in the Japanese original. And yes, I actually looked up a YouTube playthrough of the Japanese original. It starts after this event. So they actually added this to the American version of the game, which is kind of weird for back then. I mean, again, usually it was the other way around. The Japanese version of the game had more graphic scenes that were cut for the American version. You know, trying to make it all ages, meant for children kind of thing, I guess. Okay. By the way, forgive me if I scroll through too fast through this dialogue. Just probably won't be doing that too much in this version of the game since I haven't played this in ages. I'm used to the Switch version, but the dialogue is a little different there, so. Yeah, usually I've been playing this game on Switch. Well, the Nintendo Switch version, from what I hear, is just a Nintendo port of the mobile version, but whatever it was originally made for, that version of the game, as of right now, I'd still say is the better one. And I probably still will say that even after this, but yeah. Again, I'm willing to admit a lot of my bad memories of this game are probably caused by my own lack of grinding time, even the most, you know, minute amount of grinding. Not knowing anything about manipulation and that kind of stuff like people do in speed runs these days, you know. I didn't know anything about that back then. I know some today. Don't really like doing it, but I do know some about it in some games. But back then, no. The only way I knew how to manipulate a game back then was with Game Genie, and that was outright cheating, no doubt about that. I mean, I won't even try to pretend to deny that Game Genie codes were cheating downright. But yeah, that was the only way I knew how to manipulate a quote unquote manipulate a game back then. With no internet yet. You know, the internet may have existed already by then, but it was pretty much only for businesses or, you know, only the the rich people that could afford computers back then. And back then it was still just dial-up, so it was extremely primitive by today's standards. Yeah. And even if there was an internet, there certainly weren't any YouTube channels or gaming websites, websites devoted to video games yet. In 1991. And again, I specify that year because until right now, that's the last time I actually played this original version of the game. 31 years later. Damn, I was just barely out of high school back then. Talk about a time capsule now that I think about it. So much time has passed since the last time I saw this version of the game. Holy crap. Anyways, this is where the Japanese original of the game starts, with the lone survivor of Moonbrook making his way here to Middenhall. So yeah, it's kind of odd that they actually added that scenario back there to the American version of the game, when usually they're editing that kind of stuff. I mean, the princess's father was brutally killed right in front of her eyes. Usually that's the kind of stuff that gets hacked out of American games, especially back then in the 80s, early 90s. Anyway, enough said on that. Just something I've always found funny since I noticed that. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing. Okay, so I'm thinking Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope talking to Luke, but yeah. Erdrick? Okay. Yeah, by the way, probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I was talking about my personal history and memories with this game and kind of got distracted. But yeah, storyline-wise, this is supposed to be taking place like 100 years after the first game, with the descendants of the hero and Princess Gwaelin from the first game. Establishing kingdoms throughout the world, making the world map of the first game much larger now, as we'll find throughout the course of the game. But again, sorry, I probably should have mentioned that at the start of the playthrough, but again, I was too busy yakking about my own personal memories of this game and how much time has passed since then. Alright. Sure. Seek out worthy companions, okay. Now, right away, there's a difference between this and the Switch version of the game. For one, in the Switch version of the game, the king here tells you the names that the Prince of Cannock and the Princess of Moonbrook will have on your playthrough. And if you don't want those names, the Switch version of the game gives you the option of changing them to whatever name you do want. Here, it doesn't tell you, and it doesn't give you the option to change them. They are whatever they are. And I think, I'm not sure, I'd have to actually look it up and how it's determined, but I think it's generated at random when you start a new game file. I think. It's not default, it's not set. As the 2 times I did play this back in the day, I had completely different names for both the prince and the princess on the second playthrough that I did on the first, so they're not set. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get those names on every playthrough. Completely random. How it's determined that, I don't know if it's random or if there is some determination for it. But anyways, yeah. Just, that's one of the differences I already noticed. Copper sword. Okay, that's a difference. In the NES original of the first game, this costed $180 and it was quite useful, at least early on. Granted, the further you went into the game, the less useful it became, but no. Okay. Don't forget to equip it, of course, or having it ain't gonna matter. Ooh, 10 points, okay. Triple my attack power. Cool. Of course, what's with this? You're the hero that's supposed to save the world. And before they set you out on your grand world-saving adventure, they give you a paltry $50. Really? What the heck am I supposed to buy with $50? I mean, seriously? You might as well send me out empty-handed. I mean, yeah, I could buy a few of these, but I can't even, as we'll see once I make it to one of the next towns, with $50 I can't even buy the next weapon or armor upgrade in line. Sheesh. Anyways, I've always thought that was kind of comedic. Now, before I go out and start grinding, let's talk to some people here, just for the heck of it. Since that's how you learn, how you know where you're going next and that kind of thing in the first playthrough of a game anyways. I mean, granted, I don't need to do this. I've played the Switch, I played this back in the day, and I've played the Switch version a ton of times in recent months, so yeah. Yeah, I kind of knew that already. By the way, I've always wondered why the heck this was here. I mean, it would be nice if we could get that to that town right now. I mean, you could just swim. But of course, this is an old video game. Water is an impassable barrier, so yeah. Can't do that in an 80s video game. Granted, this was 1987 in Japan. Yes, it did come out here in America until September of 1990, but anyways. I mean, it would be nice if we could get to that town now, given what one of the items we find in that town will be. But, yeah, of course, you could do a lot of sequence breaking with that item, which is probably why they made sure you can't get to that town yet. Now that I think about it, I kind of answered my own question. Yeah. So, crap, yeah, you could definitely do a lot of sequence breaking if you could get the item that's in that town now. Holy crap. So yeah, I just answered my own question. Never mind. That's why you can't get to that town now. But I still want to know why it's even there. I mean, I know why you can't get to that town now, but why is this even here in the first place? I mean, maybe as a shortcut back here once you get your ship and you're exploring if you need to get back to this town in a hurry. Maybe. Ish. It's the only thing I can think of, but anyway, you can't open these doors until you get a special. Oh, good God, that's right, in this version of the game. Oh, crap, I forgot all about that. One of the things I did like about this game that had nothing to do with my levels or lack of them, as I was talking about earlier in this video, the keys. Well, since I brought it up, potential spoiler for later events, there's 3 different types of keys. And in this version of the game, you need all three of them. Unlike the Switch version where the keys stack, so to speak, you only need... Oh, goody. In a game that already has limited inventory space as it is, you actually... Oh, goody, I forgot all about that. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, good advice. I mean, nowadays it's common knowledge in RPGs, but by the time I played this game, it was too. Yeah. Like I said in my Dragon Warrior 1 playthrough, with my first RPG being that game, weapons and armor auto-equipped, you didn't have to worry about it. I start playing the first Final Fantasy game where that's not the case, and yeah, my first battle didn't end well. But by the time I played this game, I knew that from experience, buying or finding a weapon does nothing if you don't equip it. So. Anyways, and need the two of the three different, well, actually four, but one of them different. Two of the different variety of keys to get through here, which at this point in the game is probably just as well, as even if I could go through there. What that is leading to would not be a good idea to try to tackle at this point in the game, even if it were possible. Holy crap. And those items... Actually, I don't even remember what's in there in this version of the game. But yeah. Alright, well, let's go out. Start doing the one thing that I was reluctant to do so back in the day. Grind a little bit. Back then, like a lot of gamers do today, I saw grinding as a tedious chore, and like I said in my Final Fantasy playthrough, I started playing Final Fantasy, the first game on the NES, in the summer of 1990, just a few months after finally completing the first Dragon Warrior game. But back then I was playing my games on rental time. And by the way, sorry for the long, lengthy personal flashback, but answering some questions people have asked in YouTube videos and Twitch chats, and trying to find something to talk about as I grind, so yeah. But anyway, trying to play a game on rental time back in the day worked fine for games like Contra and Castlevania, where you can get, if you knew what you were doing, you could get through it in an hour at the most, But then you get to games like Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy, where there's no way you're going to be able to beat that game on one rental time. Unless you have nothing to do but sit there and play video games for that whole time. Ooh, they do a lot of damage. Holy crap. I'm almost dead. Uh-oh. This might not end well. Run? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm dead. What the hell happened? Too busy yapping and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh, what a way to start. Oh, go ahead and get your chuckles. Anybody watching this video? Laugh, I deserve it. What the hell just happened? Seriously. I did equip that weapon, right? Well, and then I look at spells to find out. Yeah, it's equipped. Well, what the heck? I really need to pay attention to what I'm doing, obviously. Again, too busy yapping and not paying attention to the game. I wasn't expecting battles this early to be that... Granted, I probably went too far north and got into... Yeah, that's probably... stronger enemies up there. And anyways, yeah, as I was saying... But finally, after having to restart the game because by the time I could re-rent it, somebody else already had and erased my save files. Bought my own copy of the game, but by then I was already halfway through the game, so the instruction manual was no help. And by now it's, mid 91. I've already played through this game a couple times and hated it. I finally make it to the first Final Fantasy game's Ice Cave. Still with that mindset of trying to run from as many battles as I possibly could to save time. And getting my butt handed to me left and right in the Ice Cave of that game. It was then that I finally realized, hey, it's an RPG. Grinding might help you. Yeah. And ever since then, the only grinding I did previous was for weapons or armor upgrades. Didn't really care for the levels. Which in games like the first Dragon Warrior game was still a lot of grinding because some of those high-end weapons costed a lot of money. Like the Flame Sword was what, 9,800? The Silver Shield was 14,800? So yeah, that was a lot of grinding for those two weapons, or two items, one weapon and one armor, but yeah, back then that was about the extent of the grinding I had ever done. As long as I was fully upgraded with the latest and best wheat that were available at that point in the game, screw fighting, I'm running. Yeah, probably not the best aspect. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of the difficulty I created for myself was probably just that, self-manufactured. This game can be brutal, as you just saw. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk, but I'm willing to admit I probably made the game more difficult than it needs to be. Which is why I'm eager to try it again, knowing what I know now. And again, I'm sorry if that, bored you to tears, but just trying to find something to talk about while I grind, rather than edit this out. Which I will be doing a lot of editing out the grinding as I go through this. As I always do in my RPG playthroughs. Well, of course I don't really have much nostalgia for this game. Pause just now to, listen to the music and look at the graphics, but yeah. Kind of hard to have nostalgia for a game you only played twice over 30 years ago now. What? Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, that's right, Ducks. I got wiped out. Lost half my gold. Ah, shoot, that's right. I forgot about that. Alright, well this is going to take longer to get anywhere weapons upgrades wise. Well, I never said this was going to be easy. Easier than it was on my last playthrough, because I'll actually be taking time out to grind this time around, but still. Sorry about that. My hand accidentally hit my microphone. Trying to get hair out of my face. Using a headset with the microphone attached to the headphones. So yeah, it can be kind of hard to avoid touching the microphone as I do that. So yeah, if you heard that loud noise, that's what that was. Apologies. Alright. Okay. Where's that enemy that killed me the first time? First of now 2 defeats I've had already. That, what were they? Were Mollusk in the Switch version of the game. Whatever they're called here, I don't remember. No, not these guys. An ant does 3 damage? Really? An ant does 3 damage. My character sucks. How can a measly ant do 3 hit points of damage? Seriously, if I can take that much damage from an ant, I need help. Okay, well, where is that enemy? Okay, yeah, that, whatever, that resulted in my first game over. I guess, did I really go that far north? I must have really went way, oh, dang. Guess that's what happens when you get distracted in talking and not paying attention to what you're doing. That's why I, find it kind of, oh, what's the word for that? Talented, or not real. Always amazed by how people can pay attention on Twitch chats, actually pay attention to and talk to the chat people in the chat room while playing their game. Always amazing to me how people can do that. I could never do that. That's one of the reasons I don't do Twitch streams. I'd end up with far more game overs trying to interact with the chat and play the game at the same time. Anybody that can do that, salutations. You're definitely good at the game. Holy crap. Or you have better attention span or something. But anyways, I salute you. I could never do that. I'd end up dying. Hey, how you doing? Oh, shoot. Well, I just... Again, that's one of the reasons I don't do Twitch streams. And the fact that most Twitch streams, I mean, it depends on the streamer, yes, but most Twitch streams go for like 3 hours. I usually don't play a single game that long before taking a break or... And oh, here we go, Big Slug. Okay, or in the Switch version of the game, they're Mollusk, whatever. Yeah. Plus, in a live stream, you can't really edit out grinding. Granted, I haven't been doing that yet on this playthrough. I will eventually. So that's another one of the reasons I'm doing these videos instead of streaming on Twitch. And the reason I'm digressing on that is because some people have asked why I don't stream on Twitch or YouTube, since they have streaming services too. But I don't think I could focus, especially if my streaming got really popular, like some streams that have hundreds of people on chat at a time. I don't think I could focus on that kind of active chat and play a game at the same time. I just don't think I can do it. I mean, we already saw earlier in this playthrough how easily distracted I am by trying to talk while playing a game. I'm just not good at that. Again, you have my complete and utter respect if you can actually do that. I can't. Especially to some of those Twitch streamers, again, who are, like I said, have hundreds of people on their chat at any given moment. How they can... Okay, well, I think that'll do it for this introductory video. Yeah. Actually, no, instead of ending the video, just edit out some grinding. Because what I meant by that is that didn't make much sense, I suppose. I was going to end the video, grind up some, and then restart the next video after having done so. But I still got some time yet. I don't want to end this video yet, so instead I'll just edit out the grinding and then resume this video afterwards. Okay. Actually, never mind what I just said just seconds ago on this finished video. Something's come up and I got things I gotta do today. Welcome to real life. It's not like it used to be back in the days of playing this game where I was just barely out of high school and really didn't have any real life responsibilities yet. Now, 31 years later, yeah. I gotta go to work. Well, I don't have to. Somebody called out and I volunteered to go in as their replacement, so yeah. So much for this video. I'm not gonna leave it paused that long, so do some grinding between videos and see you next time. Thanks for watching, and yeah, really looking forward to this, even though I already had 2 deaths already. Kind of looking forward to revisiting this game that I haven't played in so long. See if it lives up to my negative memories, or anyways, see ya. Bye.